Hi friends, it's officially March 2025, which means it's time for our March 2025 predictions. If you're new here, my name is Beth and I do trauma-informed intuitive tarot. I have a big following on TikTok, but I'm really excited to be building my YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And I do feel like because I set the intention that this is for my YouTube subscriber collective, like these readings feel more personal for a lot of people, and I love that. So I would love to have you be part of this collective. I am going to make an entire playlist for our March predictions, so it's going to include this video, which will be for kind of overall general energy for March and general themes. Then we'll do a video on romantic love. I know that's always a favorite. We'll do a reading on career and money. I'll look into family and friends, and then we'll also look at mind, body, and spirit. And then throughout the month, I'll also be talking about so many things that are happening astrologically this month. It's a lot. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit right now. Yeah, I know, like, for some of you, as I talk about the different astrology, some of you might be like, whoa, you're going to like get your guard up with the Nine of Wands. It's more like, it's just things to be aware of. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in danger. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad month. In fact, you can have a really, really good month. There can be a lot of things going on astrologically, and that could actually be positive for you. So we're going to just take a look at what to expect. So let me talk about some key dates for the month of March. So first of all, today, March 1st, Venus is retrograde. It is stationed retrograde in Aries. We've been talking about Venus retrograde for a little while now. It will be retrograde in Aries until March 27th. It will then still be in retrograde, but it will have retrograded so far that it'll actually go all the way back into Pisces, where it will then be retrograde until April 11th. So we are in this retrograde time for the next, what is that, like 40, 45 something days like that. Okay, so that's one thing that's going on starting right now. I will actually do a whole separate reading just on Venus retrograde. We then have also this month on March 3rd, Mercury is going to be going into Aries. On March 14th, we have the full moon in Virgo, but there's also a lunar eclipse that day. Okay, so eclipse season is starting soon. On March 15th, right after the full moon lunar eclipse, March 15th, Mercury is going to be going retrograde. It will be in Aries. It will be retrograde until April 7th. Okay, so we will have Mercury and Venus retrograde for weeks at the same time. Then on March 20th, Aries season begins. That is the spring equinox, and it is also, or the vernal equinox, and it is also the start of the astrological year. Then on March 27th is when Venus retrogrades into Pisces, like I already said. It will still be retrograde. On March 29th, we will have a new moon in Aries. It'll be the first new moon of the astrological year, but it is a solar eclipse. So still part of our eclipse season. And then a big transit, which I actually feel like a lot of people have not, I have not seen nearly as many people talking about this as I feel like all those other transits, because it does feel like, you know, with eclipse season and the retrogrades, people are so focused on that, like it can feel very chaotic, and it is more in like our personal planets. But a big transit that is happening is on March 30th. Neptune is going to be transiting out of Pisces into Aries. And Neptune transits are long. Neptune has been in Pisces for like the last 14 years or something. And it's going to be in Aries until 2038, 2039. It goes into Taurus for a second in 2038 and then dips back into Aries in 2039. And then it'll be in Taurus for good later into 2039. So this Neptune and Aries energy, that is going to be big, and I'll do more on that later once we get closer to that time as well. So that's just something, like, we're in these final moments of Neptune being in Pisces, which is its home sign, and Neptune being at the end of the zodiac wheel. And we're also coming to an end of Saturn being in Pisces, and Saturn's going to be going into Aries. So it's a very interesting time astrologically, where we have so much in Pisces and then so much is going to move into Aries. And so, yeah, like the next few months astrologically, it's a lot. And so hopefully I can help you as we're working through these things. And if you're ever looking for like more personal guidance, this is something that I do work on with my personal clients, especially my VIP clients. I work with their astrology and tarot, and do trauma-informed work with them as well. So yeah, if you're ever interested, you can always book personal options with me at the link in the description, which is stan.store/IntuitivelyBeth. I'll put it on screen here too. All right, let's take a look at what the general energy is for all of that's happening. Okay, the general themes. I'll also put all those dates in the description in case you just want to like copy and paste them or write them down in your calendar. But let's take a look at what you need to know for this month. The general energy for the month of March. Thank you, Spirit. What's the general energy for the month of March for this YouTube subscriber collective that they need to be aware of? What's this general energy for this month of March? Okay, cool. I feel like it might be these two cards that came out. When I shuffle all the way through, then it's like, that's what it is. Okay, yeah. First of all, friends, the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, followed by the Tower, followed by the Ace of Wands. Oh my God, and then the Emperor. The Self card is just so wild. Okay, the wheel, a lot of times, can literally represent the zodiac wheel. And I just talked so much about this, right? We're at the end of the zodiac season, starting the new zodiac season. The Tower is showing me that like some of this astrology that's going to be happening, it is going to take things that are no longer serving you, and you have to be willing to let go of them. And some of the things that maybe you've been holding on to, patterns that aren't serving you, people that aren't serving you, things are going to fall out of your life because they can't be there anymore. And if you didn't do it yourself, and in some cases you can't do it yourself, especially on more of like a global level, then spirit, the universe, it's going to shake things up for us, right? And it is ultimately in our highest good, even though sometimes that can mean it can be really difficult. But then I do see like it's kind of showing hope for Aries season and hope for April, okay? Because we have the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning of the minor arcana. The minor arcana, it does normally go like Wands is typically considered like the first suit, and the Ace is of course the first card in a suit. And then this is also Aries energy. So like this is kind of like the start after this all happens, right? And then we also then have the Emperor card, which is the Aries card. Okay, so it's like showing like, okay, you want to get to this new beginning and be in this like new version of yourself. So in order to allow for that to happen, sometimes things need to fall away. And that really aligns with these two cards that came out as like the energy overall, which was the Queen of Wands and the Four of Stars. It really does seem like your job this month is to integrate the lessons that you've been learning over the last many years, okay? And I just happened to like look up and glance at the timer, and as I said that, it was 2222 on my timer. This is your path, okay? You need to check your path. Are you walking on the path towards your highest self? The Queen of Wands is somebody who has reflected on her shadow side. That's what this black cat represents. She is aware of the things that she are, like her flaws. She's aware of her weaknesses. She's aware of her shadow side. She's aware of her trauma, and she doesn't push it down. She acknowledges it, she takes care of it, and then she grows from that. That's what this sunflower represents. And there's like this energy of, instead of holding on to things that are not serving you with the Four of Stars, things that are maybe holding you back, maybe things where like you've gotten part way through something, but it's not ever gotten you all the way to where you want to go, and you're not willing to let go of it because you're like, but I don't want to give up what I already have. And this is calling you to finally give up what is just, it hasn't been getting you to where you want to go, right? Sometimes we need to like completely like get rid of everything to start from scratch. And that's a big part of this Wheel of Fortune and the Tower card. And that's, I feel like, a lot of what we're seeing with this Four of Stars. Okay, so it's like there's both you getting to choose, and I feel like the more that you decide for yourself, like, okay, these are the things that I know I don't want to keep doing anymore. I know these are the relationships I don't want to have anymore. I know this is the like behaviors I don't want to do anymore. I'm going to make these active choices to like scrap these. Okay, you can like kind of create some of your own tower moments here, but then there's also this energy astrologically of like the universe being like, and we got the rest. So if you didn't learn your lessons, like, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen more harshly. It's kind of like, I feel like I've talked about this in other readings too, where it's like, you know, if your parents had told you like, okay, like either you can do it or I'll do it. Which one would you prefer? Right? And it's like, that's kind of what's happening here. Okay. And so there are just some things that it's like, you just need to let go of. Yeah. Any other final messages? Yeah, I think I'm just, the cards are just like, that I'm glancing at on the bottom of the deck are just really reiterating what I was saying. So I think that's the main energy that you need to be aware of. You have more power than you think. You're not supposed to just be like a victim of the circumstances of the astrology of this month, 8 of Crystals. Like, the more that you lean into it and embrace it, the better it will feel, the better the energy coming out of it will be. If you walk into this like, oh my God, I'm so scared, and like, I mean, there's lots of astrologers, tarot readers that like fearmonger through these astrological periods. And like I said, like, these things don't have to be bad. There can actually be a lot of good with eclipse season. There can be a lot of good with retrogrades. Like, it's not all bad. And so if you are going into it like, oh, this is going to be so terrible, then like, probably it will be, because that's the energy that you're going to be like holding on to. But if you go into it being like, I know this is actually for my highest good. I'm excited for the Tower. I want these things to be taken away from me, or whatever. Like, whatever is not in my highest good, I want it to go, so that I can step into like this next version of me. I want to go further. I don't want to keep on repeating the same cycles. I want to be in my Queen of Wands energy. If you embrace that and you accept that, you're going to push forward and you're going to have such a better March. So I actually even love just the name March. It's like, are you marching forward, or are you being like marched against, essentially? So yeah, I feel like the energy of March. I'm gonna make another video that will look at romantic love next, so I'll see you there.